All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of the Attacking Third. I am Austin. Joining me this week is Pat. Gus is actually dealing with some strep throat right now, and we hope he makes a speedy recovery and can join us next week. Pat,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna dive right into it, dude. This was not great.
no. Do you want to hear my aspect on this?
Do it.
LAFC owns real estate in the mines of the Union. Last week was a tie, 1-1. This week they go to the woodshed. I don't know what is with the Phillies and the Union. They are parallel to each other. They win together and they lose together. It's weird. It is a weird combination of what this team's going through. And this week they both get shell shocked. The Phillies couldn't do anything with the Dodgers, and what most important, we're here to talk about a 3-0 win, an 0-3 win for your Dodgers. I'm sorry, Dodgers. See, I'm all tongue twisted here for your LAFC. Your LAFC took these boys to the woodshed. My problem is, and again, I've seen you and Diego, and I've seen you guys chirping away. You guys were starting to push the panic button on one Jim Curtin. Is there an issue there?
I'm not as concerned with a tournament play loss as I
Right,
am with league play. Um,
right.
Did LAFC get the better of us? Absolutely. We knew that this was something that LAFC could do. It's what they've done all year long. And it all looked fine at the end of the first half. We were playing maintaining aggression, we were counter pressing really well. And then I don't know what it was, but that second half started and we just fell apart even before
I
even
agree.
before Bizo's red card in the 59th. Like it was just the play was getting worse and worse. LA was being able to counterpunch a lot harder, and then in the 82nd it cracked open.
Yeah, and like I said, it's alarming. You may, like I said, does it really hurt the Union? No, but again, it goes back to circle square one. This is okay, prime time game. This is a Wednesday night, and big concerns. LAFC has got this team's number in prime time. MLS Cup got them here for the the here in prime time got them. They got this team's number all the way around, full circle. There's no excuses.
Yeah,
There's none.
and it was like I said last week, we were able to limit the damage that LA was able to do to us here at home, and it put us in a good position that all we needed to do really was just score once, and we could have pushed a PK shootout that we probably would have had a better chance at. Um,
Hmm.
but we just second half came around and we started to roll over, and by the time Bizo got that second yellow to get the ejection on the red, that was when we died basically. It took a bit for the death to happen, but once the rollover completed and Bizo got the boot,
Hmm.
it was it was
It was
very
not good.
short order after. It was very short order after that this team sort of just came unhinged and fell apart.
Yeah, and now that you brought it up, I got my stats here with me, and Tim Tillman, which started it all with the outlook pass. He got the assist. He got the. But how about this? How about Andre Blake getting no defense help in front of him? Nothing. Let me ask you, Austin, is this defense soft? I mean, really? I mean,
No,
there's no
the
defensive
defense
help.
isn't soft. It was a good supplementary run on the far post by Tillman to be able to find that rebound and get that goal. It
Yeah,
was
I
an
mean,
amazing initial save by Andre Blake, but there was just
right.
no one there to be able to clear the ball off, and Tillman was the first one to get to it. So it was just one of those, as I like to call them, the right place, right time type of position for getting that kind of a goal, because that would have, if the follow up goal didn't happen, save of the week. He
Right.
was full extension, gets the left hand out, gets a great piece of it. It just went straight to Tim Tillman.
Right, and Tim Tillman took every advantage of that. Like you said, got his own rebound, found the back of the net. Like in that time, like that team needs a hustle. That team needs to show hustle. It needs to show aggressiveness. And look, they did try to make some creative plays, and again, they're missing shots. I mean, they're not even hitting the net; they're hitting the fan, or they're not. They're hitting everything but the net. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, how do you throw that much and not even the LAFC goaltending was like, bro, you're making an easy day for me.
yeah. John McCarthy stood tall as he usually tends to do against
Right.
Philadelphia for some strange reason. We had a few very decent open looks that he just well, we had two very good open looks that he managed to make great saves on. But it's kind of hard to be able to beat a team when you have seven total shots and two of them on goal, and they turn around in that same match and almost 50% of their shots are on goal. They had 19 total shots, eight of them were on goal. It was only a matter of time before one of them found the back of the net.
Right. And like you said, speaking of 7 minutes between the last two goals. Think about it, 7 minutes, eight.
Like seven and some
Um,
change-ish.
yeah, but it's embarrassing. Again, that's why because I even the last goal that went in right from Dennis Boga, right? He cuts through the two defenders. It was like they weren't even. I don't know. It doesn't look like there was any hustle, no oomph. There was. Um, I don't know. Can they play 90 minutes of soccer? I don't know. I don't know what if they have it in them to give them, if they have it in them, because like I said, he cuts through two defenders and makes a breakaway goal, and it's like by then, like I said, to me, it looks like Andre Blake looks like a man on an island. Like
Well, by
there's
by
nothing
the
helping
also
him.
you also have to bear in mind by the time that Bouanga goal came to fruition, it was already 2-0 in the 90th minute. Like it was
Right.
it was literally
So
just get
so
get through the added time and that's going to be it. Like
right. So it's more like an empty netter, pretty much.
essentially, yeah, it was basically like one of those things like they were basically just putting the final nail in the coffin with that goal. Um
R-
but there definitely were a lot of positioning errors in the tail end of that match that it could have actually been like 4 or 5-0 if it wasn't for one or two guys like positioning themselves in a solid place. But
Right.
overall, like you look at the total numbers, I mean, possession was very close. LAFC had the edge 51-49, and we usually tend to do our best when we're not winning the possession. So I mean, that was a pretty characteristic number for Philadelphia there. Uh, Only a difference of 12 total passes between the two teams. LAFC had 418, Philly had 406. A 5 point difference in pass accuracy percentage, 82 for LA, 77 for Philly. So like the teams played very evenly. It's just the score sheet and the shots tell a whole different story than the rest of the numbers for this game.
Correct. And that's what happens. Like I said, LAFC just, like I said, the shots on net is the difference maker. Like
Yeah,
it
well,
really was.
especially when you think a lot of those happened after we lost Olivier Bizo to the two
Right.
yellows, because that
Yeah.
was that was
Yeah.
when that was when they saw the opportunity to really just strike, and that's when they started getting a lot more opportunities because playing against 11 with 10, you're gonna end up leaving one spot open at least for some sort of a decent enough look.
Right. And like I said, they just got punished, and it's an unfortunate fact that it's happened with this Union team. But like I said, they need to find a way back because I figured 1-1 tie. Okay, I got it from last week. It's not a world beat, but however, this is your time to strike it, man. Like, where's the revenge factor in this? Where's that team that I thought that was going to show up and say, you know what, this is the team that took our heart in the most important game last year. We needed to strike, blood. We need to strike revenge. We need to draw here. We need to draw first blood. I mean, all those in nothing. It was just flat. I mean, and the
Yeah, it
defense
was
looked just that.
it was definitely a game where coming off of that draw, you were expecting a lot better play, and you
Hmm.
definitely got it for at least the first like 47 to 49 minutes. But then that rough penalty, the rough call on Bizo that gives him the second yellow and sends him off.
Yeah.
Everything changed, obviously, because you're down a man, so it's bound to happen. But it's never good to have happen to you at that point for sure.
No, and losing a key guy like that in a perimeter spot. Like I can't afford to lose a man to one, if not one of the best teams in the league. Like this
Yep.
is we're talking about the champions here. Like this ain't no this ain't no roller. This ain't no throwaway game. Like, and this is what they how they treated it. The Union
Yep.
treat this game like a throwaway game, and like I said, there was no revenge X factor in this whatsoever. The Union
I
should have
wouldn't
came
say
out.
they treated it like a throwaway game. They definitely put forward a solid effort in the first 45 to keep it a 1-0 game. It's just again, it's the main you always come back to the main thing that caused the loss to be as significant as it was, and that's being down a man.
Right, and
You lose the level playing field, and that's where the game changes. And that's literally what happened. Granted, they were making some really good counter press and some decent runs on us in the early go of the second half there, but we were still maintaining our footing. We were still getting good counter attacks in the transition. We were playing really
right.
well, but Lizo getting sent off is the real difference maker in this match because I really feel like the goals by Opuku and Boanga probably don't happen if you're playing 11 aside.
Right, and like I said, that's where they need to they're sharpen their pencils. Like, I don't know what Jim Kern's going to do now. Like I said, he needs to have an answer. Like I said, especially he said, granted, it's out of your hands when your guy gets out of the game, but you need to have a plan B in contact here. And obviously, like I said, you lose. So pretty much when you go man down, it's like having a backup anything. Once you get to the backup, you're pretty much already threw the white flag up in the air. You're considered mercy.
I mean, we did bring in Nate Harriel to sort of fill that position after the
Right.
fact, but it was just too little, too late. Um,
Right.
but I get, even though your question was definitely a hypothetical, to give you at least some sort of an answer to what does Jim Curtin do now. Now you focus on league play because you have a bit of time before your next cup. Just try and get points. Try and move up the table because during you had literally what 2 weeks off from league play. Well, one match week off technically.
Right. Right. And you did. You had some
You fell
times
three
off.
spots, dude. You got to make those points back up now.
Right. So let me ask you too, Austin. Before we move on with the Red Bull conversation, looking at this LAFC, do you believe now that they own real estate in the heads of the union?
Uh, I don't think it's as much like as big as you would think it is. The sting is always going to be there of losing to them in MLS Cup, of course, because of the fact that they're the team that beat you for the championship. You're always going to be
Mm-hmm.
carrying a piece of that with you because of that. But I don't think it's as big as everyone makes it out to be, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LA beat us, in a couple of games that definitely, in a way, mattered. Um, but this one, I don't see it as a huge L to have to take. I mean, it's just it's two less games that you have to play now in this
Okay.
very hectic schedule that you're already playing. It's
Right.
totally fine. Shift back to league shift back to league focus for a few weeks, right back into cup play again. So
Yeah.
it's almost like it doesn't even happen. You know what I mean? Because the championship happens at the end of this month, I believe it is, because they had 'cause I think yeah, Tigres and Leon played last night. I actually didn't get a chance to see who won it. Totally forgot for most of the day because it's been so hectic.
Right.
But now you don't have to worry about that. You can shift your focus for at least the next month and some change before you play against Minnesota in Leagues Cup. So
Right.
you're in a good spot right now. You just have to get some points back to reestablish yourself on the Eastern Conference table and go from there.
You're right. So, like I said, I opened this show with, and I want to bounce it right to you. Like I said, I asked you about the real estate, but is this team? I mean, is this the up and downs of the team? You're going to get a good Union team here. This is what we expect. How do you deal with what you just had? What happened in LA? Like, how do you bounce back from the ground? You're pretty much roadkill at this point.
The way you bounce back is just go back into training and just keep doing what you're doing. You got a very solid win against Toronto before you went into
Yeah.
Champions League. You played in my opinion, the best team in the league still in LAFC, even though they lost. I mean, Gareth Bale wasn't a huge contributor to that team,
No.
um, but you lost Latif Blessing and brought in a couple of solid pieces to be able to pick up for what you were missing. So they're definitely still top of the pile. So to be able to in the first match one was incredible. You can't downplay the fact that you took one of the best goal scoring teams in the league right now and held them to one goal. Um, but the main thing you're going to have to do is just try and not let it eat at you, simply
Right.
because of the fact that you fell positioning in the league table, missing a week of actual league action. So this is the time to be able to try and gain ground because you're playing against the team that is ahead of you in the standings right now in New York Red Bull on Saturday. So you have a
Right.
very solid opportunity to at least jump a couple of spots and just keep rolling from there.
Right. So, are you concerned about, again, we broke down this game. Again, LAFC scores, I believe, what, 28th a minute into the game. Then they
13th,
then
and
13th
then
minute into the
82nd and 90th.
so they score kind of early, and then they exploded in garbage time late in the game. Are you concerned about this team not, like I said, not be able to find the net, not be able to come up some creative, not be able to capitalize on stuff? Because like I said, I from what I saw, I question about the defense. Is there an issue with the defense to you? Is it soft?
No, I don't think the defense is soft. I just think it was a bunch of really good runs, good player positioning. The defense did what they could when playing down a man to try and limit the damage as best as they could. Like I said, there were a few that if it wasn't for decent defensive positioning, this could have easily been a 5-0 match. So, I think the defense is fine. The main thing you really need to work on is your discipline in tackling because that was where all of the yellow cards
Mm,
came from. It was a pretty tough tackle early on by Bedoya to net a yellow, and then you got the one
yes.
from Bizo in the 59th, which led to the red. So discipline's going to be a big thing. We were called for 16 fouls throughout the entire 90, so
Ooh.
discipline's definitely going to be a big thing for sure. Um, and honestly, personally, if I were Jim Curtin, I would have the guys put in some more work on corners, on any sort of set
Okay.
piece at all, because we were so dangerous last year on set pieces. We've maybe scored 3 goals off of set pieces this whole year. So
Wow.
we just there's a lot of things that we have to get back to in terms of how we know we can play as a team. And right
Mhm.
now, you take the positive that you can from that loss. There's not much. Like like I said, the first 47 to 49 minutes were decent. Take the positives that you can from that, roll into this it back into league play, and just try and get points.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do that. They're gonna have to, like you said, bouncer, get off from the canvas on this one. You gotta let that one. This one's a stinger. You're gonna have to come up, like you said, come up where you where did where did LAFC take advantage of you on? You're gonna have to, like you said, the corner shots. You're gonna have to come up with some more creative plays, and you're gonna and look. And I listen to you, and I listen to Gus Bedoya. Obviously, slowing the game down. You may have to consider. Hey, listen, I need younger legs out there. It is what it is. But I don't know if Jim Curran trusts his bench in order to bring someone off of it to start. You know what I mean? For Bedoya,
I
because
understand where you're coming from with that. I personally don't think that Bedoya is at that point just yet. He made some very decent runs and some very good passes throughout that first half. He was kind of a key couple of the opportunities that we had. So I mean, could you potentially get younger at the position for someone that plays just as hard, if not harder than Ale? Absolutely. But I feel like you lose some sort of an intangible that this team needs to hold them together. Like there's something about Bedoya being on the field that you can see the team play just a little bit harder. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something about the way he handles a game that it's almost like watching JT Real Muto call a game behind the plate. You know
oh,
what I mean?
jeez,
Like
right,
it's very solid, very compact. Everything's done very simply, but yet complex. You know what I mean? Like even
right.
though there's a lot happening, he's able to simplify it very well, and I feel like the team just performs better with him out there. Are some of his touches not the best? Yes. Like I will openly
Right.
admit, there's quite a few times that Bedoya will make a touch, and I'm like, come on, dude. But it happens. It's, one, as you get older, that kind of stuff happens, and two, it sometimes the ball comes in a bit hotter than you expect. Isn't the best one.
Right. So let me ask,
That's
like I
life.
said, the like I said, were you disappointed in the 0-3 win to LA? I mean, coming up, just not seeing anything on the scoreboard. I mean, like you said, they played hard, but uh, when you look on the sheet, you glance at it, you might be like, you wake up the next morning, obviously, and you're like, dang, dude, really 3-0? Like LA? What did we not show up? What did we just go to Hollywood? Did you just get a suntan? Like what happened?
Well, I mean, if I'm being 100% honest, if I were to look at this stat sheet, I would think maybe it was a 2-1 loss. If I didn't
Right.
look at the score, I would assume, okay, probably 2-1, maybe 3-1. But to see it be a 3-0 and two of the goals are late in essentially
Yeah.
garbage time, it definitely stings for sure. Absolutely it does. Um could it have been a statement win? Yeah, just because of where LA stands in their positioning and for it being, a Champions League match, it definitely could have hit them a lot harder because of the fact that they had made it to the final last year.
Right.
Um, so I mean, it was. Oh, by like the 55th minute, like right before Bizo got that red, I was starting to be like, this team. I don't think they have a real shot at this. The red hit, and I literally looked at my wife and I went, "It's done." She was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Bizo's gone. We're down a man now." And she went, "What?" And she looked back over, saw the foul, and she was like, "Oh yeah, understandable." I was like, "Yeah, well,
So
that's
the
that's gonna be it."
so the white
But
flag went up
oh
immediately.
yeah, it's the second that Bizo was gone, I was like, down a man against a very dangerous transition team and an amazing shooting team. Guys like Vela, Bawanga, even Bogush played very very well for them, even though he didn't really get on the stat sheet like that. I just knew that this was not going to end very well for Philadelphia, and it definitely didn't.
No, and it didn't. At least, unfortunately, a 3-0 win for your LAFC over the Philadelphia Union. They need to get it together, fast. But like I said, it sucks because I can't stand the LAFC. But however, they got the Union's number in prime time, and it's just like it pinches your leg. You're like, damn, guys. It's like, and like you said, they played them tough. Like I said, Tim Tillman just exposes the team early. He gets the fresh goal, and then like you said, there could have been a little bit better defensive play in front of him, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And then like you said, uh, LAFC getting 2 goals in 7 minutes in the very end became the nail in the coffin for the Union, and it's just like, now the Union are probably just ready to get back home. Like you say, get on that airplane, focus what they got to focus on, and just come out harder. You're going to need come out strong. Let that be a slap to the face to you. Let that infuel you. Make that bring out the anger in you. Let that fuel you. Let that drive you to when I see the Red Bulls this weekend, I'm gonna beat the brakes off them. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to take care of business. Corey Burke's gonna wish he stayed as a Philadelphia Union. You're gonna have all those things in the back of your mind.
Yeah, and you definitely do need to come in with a different mindset for this match, simply because of the fact that you're coming off of one of your first of three tournaments this year. That was the first one. So the main thing that you have to remember is it's a long haul. Don't burn yourself out too fast. You have too many games ahead of you to start to burn yourself out now. But this is where the games matter, is playing in league play. These are the ones that matter the most.
Yes.
Win these. If you don't make it through in the tournaments, fine. I've been saying this from the beginning. Are the other tournaments important? Yes, of course, because you get to stack yourself up against the rest of this hemisphere.
Right.
Absolutely, I will do that all of the time. But the one that matters the most is your league's cup.
Yes, I agree with
If you
that.
can win there, and lose everywhere else, winning that one makes up for everything.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. I'll say, you could lose these interleague tournaments here and there. Like, I agree with you. Those ones don't matter to me. The ones that matter are the ones you play hardcore for. And this, like right now, so you look at the Philadelphia Union, they are in the 10th seed. They are heading up to North Jersey to take on a Red Bull team that is just 1-3 and 6 ties. OMG. They are hard to bother. So again, the Union should have all this excitement, all this, like I said, fuel, anger, rage, all that from getting slapped in the face in LA to bring it to North Jersey and say, you know what? We don't have a road win yet. Again, our road. And let me ask you before we trans over to the Red Bulls, the Union are and something. They haven't got a road win yet on the schedule. Does
Correct.
that play? Has this become the major X factor in the Union? Like they can't figure out how to win on the road. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I feel like it at this point is definitely a cause for concern because you struggled a lot on the road last year. You struggled a lot on the road the year before. So you definitely want to try and start winning games on the road because of the fact that there's going to be times where you're not going to be able to rely on getting your home crowd. Like, it's just going to
Yeah.
happen, especially when the playoffs
Be
come.
right back. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah. But yeah, the standings now are where it matters. You can't expect to not be able to get wins on the road and be able to end up in a high position. I mean, sure, the Union have done it because of how dominant they've been at home. They've gotten enough wins on the road to be able to get by, but you need to start winning games away from home. It's it's more important than a lot of people make it out to be. Um, I mean, just getting wins in general is important. Like, let's be fair, but just coming off of this kind of a loss, you want to try and be able to bounce back as hard as you can, and to play against a team like a New York Red Bull, where they're definitely very vulnerable right now, is going to be the best possible option. They're one of their key offensive guys, as we were just stating a little bit ago, is Corey Burke, former Philadelphia Union player. So you want to be able to try and lock down the guys that you know are important, be able to play the way that you know you can play, and be able to take advantage of a very poor New York Red Bull side right now to be able to try and start getting points back on the table and pushing yourself up the standings. Because playing on the road, it's not your strong suit. Get
All right.
get wins when they get wins when you can and when they matter the most to be able to push yourself forward to not have to worry about playing as many road games come playoff time.
Right. So before we get into talking to this road trip that we're about to go on, let's get into a couple of the sponsors here, and then we'll get right back into it. Do you want to lead off? You want to be the lead off
You go
man?
for it. After you,
All
my
right.
friend.
All right. I'll go be the lead off man. Listen, guys. David Archerry Esquire. Give him a call today. A working compensation, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, criminal law. Give him a call today. David Archerry Esquire. If you guys are having any of those issues in your life right now, please call him at 610-565-0300. He'll gladly just give him a call today and he'll give you a shout back. Give him a shout. Oh, sorry.
And if you happen to be in the Delco area down in Ridley Park, make sure you stop over at Dolan's Bar at 24 East Sellers Ave. We're doing the Philadelphia Sports Day on May 13th from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Gonna have folks like Charlie Manuel, Mickey Morandini, the Philly sports guys, Eagles legend Hollis Thomas. Amazing food, amazing atmosphere. All the money from the Wiffle Ball Mania goes to the Eagles Autism Foundation. So make sure you get yourself out to 24 East Sellers Ave for Dolan's Bar. If you want more information on Wiffle Ball Mania, the Philadelphia Sports Day, go to dolansbar.com. Let them know that the Edge of Philly guys sent you.
And one more, guys, before we get back to the sports scene here. Listen, Edge of Philly Sports, man, we are doing some big things here, of course. You are checking out your Attack and Third show right here on Edge of Philly Sports and everywhere else on all your social media platforms. But we got a tight, great schedule. We got coming up this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We have the Passing Fanatics led by Tom Kelly and James Sforza. Those guys will lead you into talking some Philly sports all the time. So, guys, give them a shout. this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And of course, if you guys are staying around, if you guys want to talk some Twisted Metal, hang out on the Devereaux Sports page at 10:45 p.m. with me, Austin, and our man Art. So listen. Uh, with that being said, let's turn the page here. Let's try to, like you said, look at this Red Bull matchup. Let's take a look into again. Will the road trip woes continue up in North Jersey? I don't know. I think the Union should be able to bounce back, but again, I took too many these games for granted. Where this team, look at them, we were top of them, we smoked them, we took care of business with them, and however we fell short. So any game I'm not taking lightly. I mean, again, this is a Red Bulls team that only has one win. The last time they won was in March 18th. So 6 weeks ago is the last time they got a dub. I mean, it's been a long time since this team amount to anything. They stink. They can only average one goal a game. This I'm not saying this is a going to be a day at the park because I thought every other game for the Union was going to be a day at the park, but however, it's not. Uh, I'm hoping the road trip woes don't continue. I hope they could go up in New York and take care of business. Um, Austin, your thoughts? Like I've heard you talk about. Listen, we should know that team in and out. You know Corey Burke. You should know some of the guys out there. But this is going to be this is one of your rivals. So do you smell a trap coming for again the Union?
With the way Red Bull has been playing, I do not, honestly.
Okay.
Um, one of the matches that they played was against Montreal, and they Montreal went down a man in the 65th minute, and Montreal still managed to win 2-0. So
Right.
granted they were up 1-0 already before the red card happened, but you have a man advantage and you still manage to concede a second goal. Like, and the fact that you're averaging one a game, granted the Union haven't been doing much better,
No.
but the the difference in play is glaring from where they were last year to what they're doing so far this year. Granted they're missing some pieces, but even still, you would expect the guys that are there to be able to at least put something together. But to have your last win be almost 2 months ago, no.
Right. And you know what? Like you said, I don't know if the road trip woes are going to continue for the Union, but I do know this: they just got slapped in the mouth off the West Coast. They just got humiliated on prime time by the LAFC. This is the time you turn your page and go, you know what? Playtime's over. You know what? Let's go to up in North Jersey. Let's go handle business. Let's go take care of these punks. Let's go get a road game. Let's go get a dub here. This is if there's any time to turn the page, it's now. This team again, like I said, hasn't won in 6 weeks. There is something going on with that those teams. I don't know. Again, this is one of the better teams from last year. They've also fallen apart. Heck, they've fallen from Earth. They are 15. They are sitting at the basement. They're not even on a step in the basement. They're whale poop. Okay, there's nothing in the ocean that's lower than whale poop, but this is what they are. Okay, so you should be able to go down there and go up there and take care of business. So that's how I see. I need to see somebody go off. Who do you need to see step up here, Austin, in this game? Who you're like, you know
Uh,
what? This guy he's been back of a milk carton. I need you to step up. Who is it?
Same three that always matter the most, and that's the forwards.
Okay.
You finished with amongst the three of you, the most goals scored by three players in an MLS season in a very long time. You are all certified shooters. You know what you are capable of. You got some decent play from Ua in the last league match against Toronto. He got the Hattie. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hopefully, you're able to get some sort of pluses happening for those three guys throughout the throughout this match. But
Yeah.
hopeful. I'm really hoping for a win. Even if we just walk away with 1 point, it's better than none. I would hate to have to leave two on the table, but a win
Right.
is a win, or even I should say points are points. Um, just take them when you can get them, and especially in a road match, if you can at least even pull level, it should be better than what you've been doing. So
Right. So here we go. We got this. How about this? You get on the road here. You take care of business. But however, Andre Riaz leads the league in interceptions. So you're going to have to look out for that. That's about the only thing that they got going for them. So
yeah,
you're going to have
he's
to.
he's been doing really good in terms of positioning himself in between a couple of guys, knowing where the passes are going to be. You know that
Hmm.
that I'm just gonna tell you this right now, Pat. That lead is going the person that leads in intercepted passes in MLS is going to be changing consistently. There is enough passes that happen throughout a game that get intercepted that someone else will definitely take over very quickly, and then that person will get taken over probably the same day within minutes. So,
Right.
um, but it's definitely he definitely has an eye for the way the field is going, especially as he's going backwards, which is always a positive to have. It can lead to very good transitional play. Um, it's just not being able to break any sort of a tie or being able to push yourselves ahead when you have a lead to secure it, and instead conceding. That's where Red Bull's issues lie. So you want to be able to try and exploit them as quickly as you can. Get on the board early. Get on the board
Yes.
often. Definitely let this team show you why they are at the bottom of the table.
Yes.
Um, don't try and be like don't try and explain to them that they're the bottom of the table, bro. They know. Like they
Yes.
definitely
Yes.
know. Like go
Uh,
go in there and just be like, you are bottom of the table, and that is exactly
right.
what you are. And this is where
Right.
you're gonna be for a hot minute because apparently Montreal, even down a man, you couldn't beat them. So don't
Right.
think that you can just walk all over us.
No, and like I said, that's the only. Like I said, that's maybe maybe that's like the worrisome I have about this Union team because I don't know which Union team's going to show up. I don't. It's a week to week process. I don't know if they're going to come out. And I'm like I said, I'm being optimistic. I got the blue and gold sunglasses on. I'm hoping for a team that who I want to see that team that who or I need to see a hat trick. I need to see guys that can say, you know what, I'm going to take this over. I'm going to take this bleep over, and you know what, I'm going to beat the brakes off of them single handedly. Like I need that. I need Jim Curran to go. You know what, guys? It's this thing. We need to come together. Listen, it's going to be maybe in North Jersey. I'm looking at like this is a 2 hour bus trip up there. This is sometime we talk. This is look. It's been a long plane ride home. It's been miserable. We really just we had our heads down the whole time. This is the time to turn the page. It's going to be nice out. The weather's going to start changing. With the weather changing, it's time for a change. And let's start turning some things around. Look, this is the worst team in the league. Let's take care of business. Let's get our points up. This is the league. Said this is the league that matters. These are the points that count. We got slapped around by LAFC. I get it. Looks like they got our number, but look, let's build our confidence by let's turn the momentum. Let's go into LA. I mean, let's go up in North Jersey. Let's take care of these Red Bulls and let's take care of business.
Yeah,
That's what I
100%
want to
agree.
say.
100%
Um,
agree. I mean, it's just you want to be able to try and reestablish momentum because you came off of a very solid league win, and you played the first leg of that Champions League matchup very well. You limited one of the best teams in the league to one goal at your home. So you want to be able to at least try and carry positives from where they came from throughout the past week, and hopefully you come in with a solid mentality going up against New York on Saturday because this match definitely matters. 100%.
yeah, definitely. So I want to get quickly into this weird comment right here. I love weed. I like it anyway. Go Cowboys. All right, buddy. Thanks for subscribing, my man. Thanks, buddy. Uh,
Spoilers,
continue.
it's my burner account for YouTube.
Uh, yeah, just do what you gotta do, my man. But but
I
listen,
kid, I kid.
yeah, I know you. But listen, this Union team had, like I said, this is where you turn around. This is where, like I said, I'm looking at this New York Red Bull team, and I'm seeing what do they have to offer us, right? What do they? Like I said, I mentioned it, uh, Andre Riaz being a maybe a little bit of a problem, being the top picks.
Yeah, I mean
So
he's definitely I guess the NFL terminology that I would use to describe him is he's definitely a ball hawk. Um,
Yes.
he has that good eye. He has a good jump to the ball. Um, so the main thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your passes are on target and they're crisp. Like in the match against LA, you had 406 total passes and completed 77% of them. You need to tighten that up more. You can't be giving up that many you can't have that many passes get taken away or knocked away because as you saw in the late tails that the late end or tail end of the match, I went to use both terms at the same time. you
Mm-hmm.
that's when you can't have that kind of stuff happen. Down a man or even in the
Right.
late go, you have that's where your passes have to be the best because anything can happen in a matter of a couple of minutes. Clearly, as you saw that in an 8 minute window, LA scored
R-
2 goals. So you just have to make sure
r-
your passing is crisp and clean. You have to make sure that you're making the right runs. You're not getting caught offside. I mean, even though you only got caught offside once in that match against LA, you just got to stay as disciplined as possible. Let the mistakes
Right.
happen on their end. Got to tighten up the mistakes that you've made on your end in the last match, being fouled 16 times, 2 yellows. And aside from that, you just got to work on getting the ball on goal.
Yeah, you're right. You got, like you
Those are the
said,
main spots that you were lacking in the past couple of matches, and you got to really be able to pick that back up.
yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, everyone on their team only averages one goal. Like no one has more than, like it's amazing. Like they only got like 6 guys only have one goal.
Yeah,
So
their expected goals per game is very poor. They have a goal differential of -3 right now. So
right,
you want to hope that you can go in there and be able to
I'll be
get the
right
job
back,
done and get the
buddy.
3 points. But any given day, anything can change. So you want to be able to hope that the training throughout this week leading up to Saturday has been on points of need. On being able to get the passing right, being able to establish better positioning and runs on set pieces, um, and being able to just finish in general. A couple of very solid opportunities in the LA match on Tuesday that didn't go simply because of the fact that they were. I mean, granted, some of them were hasty, I guess you could say, but just the fact that you had opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net and you wound up losing out on them. So you want to be able to change those from being, not getting those goals to getting those goals. And sometimes it starts as simply as the training that you've done throughout the week. And if you can be at that point where, you can be that offensive juggernaut that you are known for being, the sooner you get back to that point, the better, and what better place to start than the team that's at the
Yes.
bottom of the table in your conference?
Well,
Start here, build momentum, just keep going forward, and hopefully, you can start
yes.
getting some points back and start trying to leapfrog some of these teams. 'Cause it's a very tight race in the middle of the pack in this Eastern Conference right now, and a few wins jump you a ton of space.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, you bring up a solid point. So if you can, like I said, hopefully take, keyword, hopefully take 2 points away from the Red Bull, that should jump you up, right? That moves you up, you're in the playoff terms. Like
If you
you're
if
in,
you if you get a win, you are tied for fourth in the conference
take it.
with
You
Nashville and NYCFC. You go from 12 to 15. You jump 4 teams if you get a win. If you
right.
manage to get another win after that and no one else moves, you jump up into a tie for third with Atlanta. So
Wow. And
if
listen,
everything goes the way that you would hope, granted some of these teams are going to be playing against each other come this upcoming match week and the following, but if they get minimal gain, maybe 1 point if they happen to pull a draw and you can get wins, you're going to leapfrog a large portion of this table. And the
right.
sooner you can do it and begin to establish position and be able to separate from these teams, the better off you're going to be.
Absolutely correct. So, like I said, you take care of this team, right? Just you just said you take care of the Red Bulls. You go in there. Hopefully, you can. I'm thinking. I'm hoping. Prayerfully, maybe it comes up to like a 2-1 win. Either way, if it's close
Even if
or
it's 1-0, dude, wins are wins. Just get it when you
win,
can because of the fact
get
that
the
you
two.
have, if you can just chain a few together here, you're able to be within 2 weeks. being
Yes,
considered for making it to the number one spot in the Eastern Conference. Granted, we're on match week what, 10? Yeah,
10.
yeah, match week 10 for some teams. For some, it's 11. So,
Right. So
but
again,
that's all it takes. That's all it takes is a couple of wins to be able to just jump from 10 to tied for three. Like, you can jump
wow.
6 spaces if you win this week and next week.
Wow. So you look. So speaking of, you are going to face the Red Bull this weekend. And like I said, they are the bottom of the barrel. You should go up there. You should tap. It should be no problem. They are the like I said, they are the bottom feeder of the team. They are wow poop. They don't they are the bottom of the ocean. They stink. Then you go into Minnesota the following week, which
For round of 32 U.S. Open Cup.
okay, so that really doesn't help for league play, right?
Yeah, and then after that is the edge of not the edge of Philly, the Philly Sports Trips game out in
The
Colorado playing the Rapids.
the Colorado. So again,
Colorado.
Colorado. So look, most important, let's get your two dubs, get some momentum built into this. You just got slapped across the mouth. That should fuel you. That should infuriate you to want to get some to want to play well again. Like I said, 0-3, like this. Like, let out your frustrations and show some aggressiveness. Like I want to see, to me, I want to see aggressiveness on the defensive side. Like to me, what I saw, what Andre Blake, look, man, Tim Tillman just came in and walked us through. We don't want to be exposed for that. You don't want the rebel. Like, okay, well, let's try what the LAFC did and see if it works for us. You was like, no, 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 we're going to shut that down today. That's not going to happen. You want, like you said, you want to get on the scoreboard early. You want to set the tone of the game. You want to be, the X factor. Like I said, I want to see Jim Kerner in play, getting creative. Like I said, get the 2 points. Like you said, with it's a 1-0 win, 2-0. Like I said, I think the team could do a 2-1 win. I think that's what's going to play out to be. But we'll see what happens, man. I'm very thrilled to see if this team can do that.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking ahead for Philadelphia, not even really like going too much in depth about these other matchups. It's it's Red Bulls this weekend. They're bottom in the East. Even though, like I said, it's all saying all competitions. You got Minnesota to start off round of 32 for U.S. Open Cup. They are seventh in the West. And then back
Right.
to league play, you play Colorado, who right now is sitting 12 in the West. You are playing
Okay.
against three teams that are in the lower half of their conferences.
Now,
Take
with that,
advantage of these matches, get these wins, especially the league play wins. These two upcoming matches you're playing against 13 in the East, then 12 in the West. Like, these are matches that you need to win. Like
right.
you definitely need these now. Like I'm just you have to get
Yeah,
these wins. You have to get points in general are going to be helpful. And now more than ever, you need to start doing that because the fact that you just went out of one tournament, you're about to start back into another. Build momentum. Build momentum.
yes.
Chain wins together, and just start moving yourself up this league table because it's a very like I said, it's a very tight race between where we're at 10 and third place. It's a 5 point difference.
Right. And like I said,
Sorry, six,
sporadically,
because we're sitting at 12.
right. And like you said, sporadically, the team's got, like I said, the Red Bulls only got maybe six guys only with one goal. I mean, it's really nothing
Yeah, same thing with
to
Colorado. They have one
cause
win.
you sleep.
Yeah, Colorado's 1-6-3 right now. So
Come on, like you said, Austin, the winning's there for you. I mean, there's no way to cookie cut it. I mean, the win is there to take. Like I said, the win's there to take it. So take the advantage. Go in there and take care of a bad team. Like I said, they haven't seen a win since March 18th. Let that sink in. March 18th is the last time this Red Bull team saw a dub. I mean, it's been nothing but losses and ties. I mean, this says, and look again, and this will hopefully wash away this road team woes. I mean, the road trip road. I mean, you got to wash that away. You got to turn around. You got to hopefully hope for the best. Execute. Get creative in the offensive zone. Like you said, get some nice corner shots going. Go top notch. Go over the shoulder. Um, corner shots. You're gonna have to get all those in there. You really need to find a way to get to going. And again, and like you said, now the only problem though is with the Union, you're going to spend some time on the road. Like you said, you're going out to you got up to North Jersey, and then you got to go to Minnesota, and then you got to go to Colorado. So you're going to have to start turning some things around. This is the time to do it. So maybe if they go up there and say, we can win on the road, we can handle the Red Bulls, and let's start putting some things. Let's put this stuff behind us. Let's get a better May going. Our April sucked.
Yeah, I mean, you aren't back home for a match
Let's,
until the 17th. I mean, you
right,
need to start getting points on the road now because of the fact that how long you have until you're coming back home to even play a match to be able to have that
right.
advantage. So if you can at least get two of at least two wins and then maybe draw
Right.
the other one, probably puts you in
Just
a better position comparatively. So
right, and then, like I said, I'm just trying to look at the Union's team stats. I'm just trying to figure out player stats. Here we go. I mean, this is what we need here. We gotta start building momentum. We need to get down guys like off the milk carton and onto the and into the game here. Like we need him to wake up and smell the coffee. Like no more, no mas.
well, the last league match that we had, he contributed on two of Ua's goals, which was good. He scored the penalty kick in the LAFC
This
match.
was last year, right?
So I mean, he definitely the play is there. It's just you would like to see more of it. Um,
Right.
which again is why I said the in my personal opinion the key to this game is going to be how the front three play. How
Yeah.
Gazdag, Ua, and Carranza all are able to put themselves together and be able to try and put forward a solid offensive output in this match because you've been seeing glimpses of it. You saw Carranza get two against Columbus, then you saw Ua get the hat trick against Toronto. Maybe it's Gazdag's turn. Maybe
Yeah.
all three of them can put it all together at the same time and start opening up like we did before. You know, it's it's a very bad team to be playing to. It's a good opportunity against a bad team, I should say.
Right.
So definitely take every single advantage that they are willing to give you. Um, find every opening that they have. Find open seams for runs. Just try and really take it to these guys because this is definitely a match that you should be winning and you need to win now.
Oh, absolutely. I agree everything you just said. And like I said, how do you want to see them win? That's my biggest question. How do you, like I said,
I
because
just I just
I just feel like the double team is going to come to Gazdag. Like they know to shut him down. They're going to
yeah,
try
I
to
mean
shut him.
for me, it's not about how you win, it's about if you win. You can if you can win being flashy, cool. If you can win by just grinding it out, sure. If you just win because the other team just forgot to play, cool. You're getting wins. That's all that matters. So I mean,
And
I would like to just see a solid offensive output. I would like to see this team play the way that we know they're capable of playing. And if it means that, Red Bull fans probably shed a couple of tears after because of how bad it is.
yes,
I,
yes,
I will I will sleep fine at night.
yeah. Listen, and that's another thing. I don't want to and limit the fouls, please. No
Yeah,
more get thrown out.
that's
No more
the
get thrown out.
16 against LAFC in that second leg was not great.
No, and we can't afford that. And like I said, what'd you say at the third yellow card came out? That was it. The white flag had to go up after.
Yeah, I feel like well, obviously like once you go down a man, it becomes a lot harder to have to be able to play to, especially to try
Yeah.
and come back in a match. So I feel like it was the death after the rollover personally, but it was a tough loss to take. But just in the two matches against LA alone, you committed 27 fouls. They granted
Oh.
they weren't too far behind you with 25. Um, total in terms of yellow cards, both teams had three. Um, the first match against LA, we were caught offside 6 times, and then we only got caught
Oh.
once in the second leg, so we definitely tightened up on that. Um, like I said, though, my main thing is, I want to see better play on the set pieces. Like we know that they have excellent service from the set in both Jack McGlynn and Kai Wagner, and I just want to see more of it. Like I feel like there's not. as many solid opportunities off of those that we're capitalizing on. Like the opportunity is there. It's just again, it's a lack of a final touch every time. That's usually what it boils down to in the losses that we have is that we're missing out on solid opportunities to be able to get goals in the net to be able to give us a chance at getting points. And the sooner you can fix that issue, the sooner you're going to be in a better position to win games and to get points and climb this table.
Correct. And like I said, this is this is like I said, this is the opportunity for you. The opportunity is on the table. Will the Union take it? I don't know because, like I said, uh, not off my hand, but I just know it's owing something on the road right now, and that's not good. So you need to turn the negatives into positives. Let's wipe the Aprils and Marches away. Let's say, you know what, it's a new month. Let's get a dub on the road. Let's go to North Jersey. Let's take care of business. And let's don't give the Rebels a second chance. Not even in Glenn, like you said, attack the minute the referee says it's go time, you go. And like you say, get creative, get Ua if you need to, get him. He played red hot for you against Toronto. He might need to do that right here in this game. Like you said, McGlennon, like get some other guys involved. You know what I mean? It's time to get some other guys involved and take care of business.
Yeah, and especially a kid like McGlynn because he's getting a lot more starts. You want to be able to start seeing a lot more production out of him. So the sooner you can start getting him to be able to produce more, just let him get more confidence on some set pieces. Let him be able to, just ride some in for like a Gazdag or even honestly at the tail end of that LA match. I liked what we were doing, bringing up either one of or both of Elliott and Glesnes to have that extra height in the box on set pieces. I mean,
Right.
you saw it in the MLS Cup final. Like Elliott was vital in the tail end of that match for being able to get up and get his head on a couple of those services in. So I mean, if that's what it takes to be able to win, do it. I mean,
Yes.
does
Yes.
it leave you lacking on the back end because of the fact that they have to be able to hustle back if a turnover happens? Yes, but sometimes there are necessary risks that have to be taken, and I feel like that's definitely one of them. Because I mean, unfortunately, Elliott and Glesnes have been two of your better players recently. So, I mean, why not, go with what's working? But I mean, you don't really want to have to because of the fact that they're your key defenders and having them come up on the offense leaves your defense lacking in that capability somewhat. So, I mean, you
Right.
really want to hope that they're not your best players in that aspect, in the offensive aspect, in terms of bringing the ball forward. But if it has to happen, it has to happen. Whatever it's going to take to get points is
Right.
is literally all I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm not saying play dirty. I'm not trying.
No, and
not
because
trying to
like I
have you.
said,
Yeah, I'm not trying to have you stoop down. But just
what you say, Austin? In the last two games, they have 27 fouls. No more, no mas. Limit
yeah,
it.
let's lower that by a few. As many as you can. Um, I understand. Sometimes refs are going to make some really soft calls. So try and prevent a lot of the egregious ones from happening. I feel like
Right.
that's the main thing I need like that needs to happen is that the passing needs to get better work from the set pieces and the final
Okay.
touch.
So right, and that's like I said. So right now, Uwo leads the team in goals, five. He's got five. Carranza's got three. Gazak's got three. And then you got guys like Bedoya's got nothing. I mean, but he's got some. He's got assists. You got a couple guys who need to get on the scoreboard here. But like I said, if you're looking for Uwa, Carranza, and Dan Gazak to be your workhorse, and let them be. But like I said, key is to find the back of the net, and what better way now to find the back of the net? So, but listen, before we get ready to roll out of here, what better way to again go to a union game? How about this?
Good one.
Save 10% off by using EOP. Go to sharetickets.com. Use the EOP code. Use EOP10 for say 10% off. Look, sporting events, concerts, theaters, great prices. No hidden fees. The price you see is the price you get. We're not no pulling your leg here. So guys, go to sharetickets.com and tell them EOP sent you and look 10% off. Saves you a little bit of a bundle there. But
Can't
anyway,
beat that.
and look, guys, listen, Philly sports trips. Listen, they look at all the great landing spots. Of course, you guys want to go out to Kansas City to return to the Super Bowl. You see the Super Bowl champs. The Birds take on the Super Bowl champs for the Super Bowl rematch. There you go. You guys want to go to New England. You guys want to go to the Big D. You guys want to go to L.A. You guys want to go to Seattle. How about Tampa? It's all there for you. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com and tell them Ed the Philly Sports sent ya. All right.
And I
Well,
don't
that
I don't
game.
remember which game it is, but I think one of
Oh,
those Eagles games that was listed on there is possibly going to be in Germany this year.
oh, wunderbar. So
Quite.
even yes, yes, but and of course I forgot to let you guys know, and I'm going to add this on next week to the overlays here. You guys, all Union fans too. May 27th. Listen, go on PhillySportsTrips.com. I've been advertising it. You guys want to go? You get your food, you get your drinks, you get a free ticket to the game, you get everything. $189 to City Field. That's right. The Union will be taking on New York NYFC at the Met Stadium. So, guys, you ever want to go to City Field, you guys want to go check that out, this is the bus trip for you. Like I said, I'm hearing it's not just your normal cheeseburgers and hot dogs. I'm hearing some amazing, amazing food gets on these bus trips. I mean, from what I've saw, well, Mike Laro and Big Al went to was Eagles and Commanders game last year down DC. I'm hearing it's quite the time. So guys, get on that trip. So anyone who's a Union fan, get on it now. This is the time. This is the trip for you. But anyway, listen, that's your man Austin. I'm your man, Pat from Ambler. Guys, go give Austin a follow on Instagram and on Twitter and look out
That's my
for all
Twitter
his.
handle there.
Yeah, so guys, go give him a follow. Go check him out. Go check him out. He'll be at a Union game, in the upcoming summer here. So guys,
Yeah,
he's always
June
doing.
24th, I believe.
Listen, if he ain't podcasting, he's writing articles. If he ain't writing articles, he's down covering the game. I mean, the guy is a workhorse. So guys, go check him
In
out.
between that, I talk about video games and stuff sometimes
and and,
too.
he, and
So
he's and he's a big hardcore video gamer. But look, catch us again 10:45 on Dev Sports talking video games. We're gonna be talking Twisted Metal with our man Art. But guys, catch you later. Have a good one. Good night, everybody.